Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 145. Volkswagen is throwing in the towel. They are not going to catch up with Tesla. And GM admits they are not profitable on their EVs, and the Tesla Model Y's dominance is getting even better. But we see Tesla cutting delivery times in China. Demand problems. Tesla has confirmed its supercharger is way more powerful than we previously thought. And Elon gives an ultimatum to the employees at Twitter. And Porsche has been caught lying about its car's fuel economy figures. And Elon points to a potential successor in the role of CEO of Tesla. And Tesla might deliver 100 semi-truck this year. And we have the first supplier leaving the automakers. All this and much more on today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
Volkswagen is delaying their Trinity platform. Not really a big surprise with all the software issues they have had, but this is not good. They are pretty much throwing in the towel. What we feared when Herbert Diess was getting fired seems to come true. I said this could be a very bad thing for Volkswagen, as Herbert was the one pushing Volkswagen toward EVs, fighting against the board. So getting rid of him would probably slow down their EV plans, and that is exactly what is happening. CEO Oliver Blume plans to push back their key Trinity battery car project from 2026 toward the end of the decade, because new software won't be ready in time, according to a person familiar with the matter. The company may also scrap the plan for their €2 billion EV factory in Germany. So the factory that was supposed to get Volkswagen down to Tesla's production time of the Model 3 of 10 hours might not happen at all, or not before maybe 2030. Yes, all of the things we have been talking about with Volkswagen are starting to come true. From the trouble of just retooling the factory, to the insane task of fixing their buggy software that has frustrated drivers of their electric cars, and delaying Porsche's electric Macan, and officially cost Herbert Diess his job at Volkswagen. So I think it's safe to say Volkswagen just threw in the towel and will not be able to keep up with Tesla or overtake them as they have said they would, even though they have been falling further and further behind Tesla in the last couple of years, and that Volkswagen will not come with something new and exciting before the end of this decade. So as we talked about a couple of weeks back, this means we won't see any R versions of the Volkswagen cars before 2030. Volkswagen will truly become the boring EV company that doesn't have any performance cars. I mean, the Tesla semi-truck will be able to beat any Volkswagen branded EV from 0 to 60. Let that one sink in for a moment. So they will just continue their underperforming MEB platform, including their very bad software. I really think this is very telling of just how little knowledge someone like Volkswagen has about software. They invested $6 billion in Carrot in 2020, and they have about 5,000 software engineers and developers to develop their uniformed operating system for the Volkswagen Group, thinking this is the way to go. Meanwhile, Tesla's AI team is killing it with software, and they are 150 software engineers. 150 making history in software against 5,000 that are failing. As I reported on a couple of weeks back, Volkswagen and Ford has also backed down from their expensive investment into the autonomous driving software with their joint venture with the company Argo that they have shut down again. It does not come much clearer than this, in my opinion. One of the biggest boys in the industry can't make a great operating system for their cars with $6 billion and 5,000 employees with half a decade worth of working hours. They say they need 10 years to get this done. Just like I said, You don't become a great software company in just 5 years, and Volkswagen is now realizing this. And just think about the mountain of work that has already been done here. 5,000 people that just in the last 2 years have been working maybe 200 days a year. That's 400 days of work from 5,000 people. That is 2 million days of work that has been invested into this software, and it still doesn't work. As I've said many times before, you can't just throw money and manpower at a software problem and think you will have the greatest software in the world. And we see that play out right here. Money is not going to solve this one. Only talent will. And the best talent wants to go work for either Tesla or SpaceX because here they get a chance to change the world. At Volkswagen, you get to work on software bugs. And if you succeed, you can celebrate that you have made an operating system for a car. Wow. Talk about ambitious missions. This is why Tesla makes their AI days. They said it themselves, they are only for recruitments. They have to show if you come to work for Tesla, you will get to work on world-changing technologies with some of the best software engineers in the world. Yes, Volkswagen will never catch up to Tesla in EV production now. They have just said that their state-of-the-art factory is at least 8 years out, or catch up with Tesla in software capabilities. They are more than 10 years behind. Remember, Tesla did have their own working operating system that could do over-the-air updates back in 2012, and Volkswagen is not there yet. At least 10 years behind, and they are saying now that they will delay their new platform that was supposed to come out in 2026 to maybe 2030. So it looks like Volkswagen is more like 18 years behind Tesla in software. And Tesla is accelerating now and Volkswagen is slowing down. So to all the short sellers and haters that have told me for 3 years now and spreading the story for a decade that the old boys could just come in and outproduce Tesla because they were expert at manufacturing and would come out with better EVs. Well, you were clearly wrong. I know many YouTubers are offering 2 free stocks, but I got the best deal for you. If you live in US, Hong Kong or China, get 5 free stock valued up to $3,500 each. Yes, you won't get a much better deal than that. Who doesn't want 5 free stocks, right? Well, you can get that with the Moomoo online trading platform if you sign up with my link down below. That will also support the channel, so a win-win for the both of us. And if you don't live in the US, Hong Kong or China, you can still download the Moomoo app as I have done because it is a very professional trading platform, so you will have all the information you could possibly want about stocks, trading tools, communities, news and much more. It is a very impressive and capable app they have made here. It has also won the Best Trading Platform Award, Best Active Trading Award and Best Trading Technology Award. So go check it out. That will not support the show, but you will get a cool professional app for keeping an eye on all the stocks you follow. Enjoy. And the Model Y's dominance that we have been talking about for a year now continues and is getting better. The Model Y was the 5th best-selling model in California in Q3 last year, and we saw big headlines like this, "Tesla is crushing it," in this article from November 2021. But according to Gordon Johnson, competition would come in and crush Tesla. But he says that every single year. This clip is from 2018, 4 years ago.
But I think what really pressures this stock in our view is the competition coming in. And if you look at the Chevy Bolt just last year, again, the first 100% battery electric vehicle car with over 200 miles of range, Tesla said they were going to grow their 1/2/17 sales by 66%, and the number was actually 6%. And if you add the Bolt sales to their numbers, it jumps to 45%. So competition is real, and we think there's real competition coming this year. You have the the Jaguar e-tron. You have the Porsche e-mission. These are all amazing cars that we think are really going to pressure Tesla.
Yes, competition has been coming for Tesla every single year for the last decade. Getting kind of old. And now, 1 year later than this article showing Tesla Model Y was the 5th best-selling car of any kind in California, we have articles like this. Tesla help boost EV market share in California's crashing auto market. Tesla now has the top-selling passenger car, the Model 3, the top-selling luxury and high-end sports car, the Model S, and the top-selling light truck, the Model Y, and the Model X is actually the number 4 best-selling luxury midsize SUV. And the top-selling overall vehicle in the state is the Model Y, and number 2 is the Model 3. Remember, this is not EV, but overall car market. And the Ford Mark E is the best-selling two-row mid-size SUV, so that's very nice as well, but still has to sell about 8 times more to get close to the Model Y sales. But at least they are on the list here, because there are no other EVs on the list of best-selling cars than the Mark E and all of Tesla's 4 models. But in the third quarter, there was 196,828 BEVs sold in California. That is up 60% compared to 2021. But that is all thanks to Tesla, because Tesla by themselves stood for 133,545 out of those 196,000 units. So all the competition sold 63,283 units in California. Yeah, the competition is all over Tesla. Tesla is still sitting on almost 68% of the EV market in California, the US biggest car market. And on Reddit, Tesla Investors Club shared this chart showing vehicle sales by revenue in California year to date through September. And this just shows very beautiful what I've been talking about in my video about product range architecture. That Tesla doesn't need 20 EV models. Here we can see the mess and how complicated Toyota's lineup is compared to Tesla. And Tesla has more revenue in the first 9 months on their 4 models than Toyota in California on their 16 models put together. And Tesla now sits on 10.7% of the automotive market in California and 3.3% of the overall US car market. That was less than 2% just a year ago. So Tesla is continuing to gain market share in the overall car market and is bigger in the US overall car market than both BMW, Mercedes, and Volkswagen. And as we can see, the trend we have been talking about all year continues. Everyone is down in sales except Genesis and Tesla. Tesla is up 62.8% year to date in California, and everyone else is falling off a cliff except Genesis. We can see that EVs are shooting up, hybrids look like they have lost their momentum, and ICE cars are falling off a cliff. Yes, we see the EV disruption play out right now. So competition is apparently still coming for Tesla, but while we wait for real competition to arrive in the US, Tesla just continues to climb up the ladder, gaining more and more market share of the overall car market in the US. So knowing all of this, it's quite funny to see Kelley Blue Book's claim that the interest in Tesla in the US is collapsing and the sales of the Model Y will plummet. Yeah, let's see how that holds up here in Q4 of 2022. Don't think that will age very well, as it is the best-selling car of any kind in California. And we see Tesla cut delivery times in China. Demand problems? No. Remember, Tesla has said they don't see a demand problem for the foreseeable future. But this does not come as a surprise that wait time is going down, as we are now halfway through the quarter and Tesla should start shifting from most cars being exported to most cars being delivered domestically. As we see, 6 ships is on their way to Europe and 2 ships is on the way to Singapore. And remember, Tesla's production is ramping up. November does have 1 day less than October, so we should probably see the same kind of production as in October, maybe a little bit more, so about 87 to 88,000 units being produced. So if most of them is going out in the Chinese market, that's a lot of cars being pushed out in the Chinese market and would for sure push down the wait time a bit. And this also shows us that Tesla's production is still full steam ahead. No shortage, no lockdown, no energy issues or anything like that just yet. So we should see some really big delivery numbers in China in November and even higher in December. We are talking about maybe over 140,000 units of the Model 3 and Y in China alone in the last 2 months. Because last year they exported about half the amount in November as they did in October. So if that's going to be the case this year as well, they should export about 25,000 units, leaving about 62,000 units to the domestic sales. And in December last year they hardly exported anything. So let's just say that they will sell domestically about 80,000 and still export about 10,000 in December. That is over 140,000 units. So of course, flooding the streets of China with this many EVs will push down the wait time, and Tesla will make some incentive to make sure that people will actually buy them in these 2 months, because a wave of Teslas are coming. To put it into perspective just how huge these numbers are, the Volkswagen Group, the entire group, sold 112,700 EVs in the first 9 months of 2022. 112,000 EVs in China, with all their many brands and all their many models. And Tesla will probably sell 25% more than that in just the last 2 months of the year. Yeah, Tesla is just at a different level. And with the opening of its charging connectors, Tesla has confirmed its superchargers is way more powerful than we previously thought. Maybe even as high as 900 kilowatts. Yesterday, Tesla surprised many by announcing that it is opening its EV charge connector in the hope of making it the new standard in North America. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. It should, but I don't think so. But in the document, Tesla described 2 versions of the charging technology capable of operating at 500 volts and 1000 volts. Furthermore, Tesla noted in the document that it has been able to operate at 900 amps. So 900 amps at 1000 watt would point to 900 kilowatts of total output, or more than 3 times the current stated capacity of Tesla's most recent supercharger station. So I really hope this means that the Cybertruck will be able to utilize some of that power and maybe have something like 500 to 600 kilowatt of charging capabilities. That would be awesome. But it is definitely nice to see Tesla really future-proofing their chargers to be able to deliver 900 kilowatts down the road when the cars will be able to take that kind of charge. So that's very cool. But this also gives us a great showcase of what Tesla is working on and what the competition is working on in the charging industry, as oil giant BP has launched its electric vehicle charging brand BP Pulse, kicking off its ambitious plan of installing 600 EV charging points around Australia. So that is awesome, but unfortunately, BP don't quite get it and have definitely not future-proofed their chargers, as we have just talked about with Tesla. But BP's one charging stall can charge up to 2 cars at once, so that is great, as we see with many chargers. But currently charging speed is 75 kilowatt per side. And by 2023, they will enable to charge at speeds of up to 150 kilowatts a side. So kind of already outdated charging speed, even with the 2023 update. Yeah, Tesla's charging network is going to be even more dominating than their EVs. Some of the Chinese does get it and have chargers that can do 480 kilowatts. So just like Tesla with the EV race, China will be the real competition in the charging network as well. Tesla has won another lawsuit against them in China just as a new accident occurs. We have seen video about a Tesla driving crazy down the streets in China and killing 2 persons. But Tesla has already applied evidence to show that the accelerator was pushed down 100% and the brakes were never pushed. And remember, the brake is still mechanical, so this is not some software issues that suddenly the brake doesn't work. So unfortunately, this seems to be yet another case of people panicking in a Tesla and just pushing the accelerator hard. Because Tesla has just won another lawsuit against them. Tesla won a court case in China against a client who slandered the company. Tesla will receive a public apology and compensation for damage in the amount of about $1,400. He said in several media interviews that his car's brakes failed and turned into a suicide toy and demanded damage from Tesla. He claimed that after contacting the company, no one contacted him and his product problem remained unsolved. During the trial, though, it turned out that the story of Mr. Wen was full of inconsistency. Evidence provided by Tesla showed that an employee of the company contacted the customer on the day of the vehicle's failure to investigate the situation and requested a vehicle inspection. Subsequently, the company contacted him several times about it, and the client refused every time. According to the verdict, Mr. Wen made statements in the interview that were untrue and had negative impact on Tesla's image. And this is not the first time Tesla has sought justice in defamation cases in China, and won't be the last. But luckily for Tesla, they have all the data from all the cars to show what actually happened. And I think a public apology in China is a very good way to go. Chinese people hate losing face. And Elon gives an ultimatum to the employees at Twitter this week. Elon wrote an email to all Twitter staff this week where he wrote, "Going forward to build a breakthrough Twitter 2.0 and succeed in an increasingly competitive world, we need to be extremely hardcore. This means working long hours at high intensity. Only exceptional performance will constitute a passing grade." In the memo, Musk goes on to outline that Twitter will be much more engineer-driven and give the staffs an ultimatum. If you are sure that you want to be part of the new Twitter, please click yes on the link below. Musk said any employer who has not done so by 5 p.m. ETA on Tuesday will receive 3 months severance. So Elon is making sure everybody understands what is needed to be done, and the people that stays are ready to do it. And then George Hotz, the founder of Comma AI that I reported on, was leaving Comma AI, but now wants to help out Elon Musk with Twitter, as he shared his email on Twitter and wrote, "This is the attitude that built incredible things." Exactly. Let all the people that don't desire greatness leave. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'm down for 12 weeks internship at Twitter for the cost of living in San Francisco. It is not about accumulating capital in a dead world. It's about making the world alive. Oh yes. And Elon replied, "Sure, let's talk." So that is very cool. One of Tesla's so-called competitors in the full self-driving game now want to help Elon making Twitter, or X.com, the greatest app on the planet. If you want to learn more, John Gibbs, aka Dr. Know-It-All, did make a whole video on this email and George Hotz tweets. So if you want to learn more, I will leave a link to that video down below. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Porsche to pay angry owners $1,100 over misleading fuel economy numbers. The automaker has allegedly lied about his car's fuel economy figures stretching back to 2005. Can you imagine? And Porsche has agreed to pay $80 million settlement for emission lawsuit. As I also mentioned in my video this week about the legacy automakers that has been lying and cheating for the last 30 years. If you haven't seen that one yet, you definitely should check it out. Link down below. And Elon Musk was in court this week, but Tesla's chair, Robin Denholm, who testified remotely, stole the show, as she said, "Tesla, for example, might produce 100 semi-trailer trucks this year." 100 trucks this year? I don't think anyone was expecting that high number already this year, but that would be a very nice surprise for the 1st of December event that Tesla did officially tweet about this week as well, and we only have to sleep 11 more times before Tesla semi-truck will be a part of our world. And Tesla has delivered 10,000 vehicles in Israel. Tesla has become the first automaker in Israel to deliver 10,000 electric vehicles. Nice. And General Motors believes its electric vehicle will reach profitability by 2025, CEO Mary Barra said ahead of the automaker's Investor Day on Tuesday. So, admitting they are not profitable on their EVs and won't be before 2025, but they have been backpedaling on so many of their statements lately, it is hard to take them seriously anymore. 1 million EVs in the US by 2025 is now a global goal. But never mind. They want to become as profitable as their ICE business by 2025, meaning maybe something like 8% profits on their cars. So in 2025, they will make about 25% of Tesla's profits per car. Yeah, not catching up anytime soon. And if you're worried about Elon Musk having too much on his plate, well, we might get some more time on his hands. It seems like he has in the last few months identified someone as a potential successor to his role of CEO at Tesla. According to James Murdoch, a Tesla board director, that was testifying in the trial over Musk pay package. So a lot of information is getting out of this courtroom, but having the right person as CEO would free up time for Elon Musk to do what Elon does best, making world-changing technologies. But that being said, every board does successor planning, so this could also just be a big nothing burger. And I know I cannot be the only one that sometimes worry about Elon's health, as he is pushing the envelope. But nice to see Elon has lost 30 pounds and just look much healthier now than just 6 months ago. Keep that up, Elon, and take care of yourself. And Twitter is bringing back end-to-end encryption on direct messaging. So that is very cool, so you don't have to have Signal or WhatsApp to be sure that your message are secure. And as Elon also replied, X will be the everything app. And if you think Tesla cutting prices in China is not a good sign, well, Mercedes cut their EQS and EQC sedan prices in China by as much as $33,000. Now that is a price cut. According to an unnamed insider who spoke to Bloomberg, the automaker is making a cut because the sales of the EQE and the EQS has been disappointing in China. The source added that some dealers have already been carrying out promotions to try to boost sales, and Mercedes EQS deliveries at times dropped to as low as 100 a month. So maybe Mercedes is trying to get as many sales out before Tesla start deliveries of their refreshed Model S and X any day now, just like in Europe, because we do have a Tesla ship coming from the US to Shanghai. I can only imagine that is loaded with Model S and X's, and it has an ETA of the 30th of November. So in the beginning of December, we should see Tesla start delivering of the Model S Plaid in China. Maybe even before, as there are ships from Vancouver to Shanghai that has already arrived. So I don't really know why it's coming from Vancouver, but maybe that is just the ship that Tesla could get and has loaded it up with Model S and X's as well. Not sure, but no matter what, we are only weeks away from the beginning of deliveries. So that should be very interesting and maybe a little troubling for Mercedes that is already not doing so well with their EQS. And speaking of the Model S, it just received a 5-star Europe NCAP safety rating. Well, of course. And James Dumas had a close encounter with a Tesla bear this week.
Whoa! Hey, that's not him.
And Tesla negotiating for the battery-grade lithium refinery in Texas are going to be handled behind closed door. Tesla will discuss the details of its planned $365 million lithium refinery. And Fisker has announced that the production of the Ocean electric SUV has started on schedule in Austria. So we should finally get to see this car that they have been talking about since 2016. But I did also get to see it at the Fully Charged live show in San Diego, and it seems like a very nice EV at a very competitive price. In the US, the Fisker Ocean will be available from $37,500 for the base sport trim. The middle ultra grade bumps up the price to $50,000, while the top tier extreme pushes it up to $69,000. They say they want to produce just over 42,000 of the Fisker Ocean already next year. If they can pull that off, I would be very impressed, as that would be much faster than Lucid or Rivian that are really struggling with production. It would even be more than Ford was able to deliver of the Mark E in the second full year of production. So it seems like a very high number, but I am hoping they can pull it off so we can get some more EVs on the road. Someone that is not really making a lot of EVs is Mazda, and they don't even plan to. Mazda plans to have 25% of its global production line as full BEVs by 2030. Mazda says ICE will still power most of its cars by 2030, but all models will have some form of electrification. Mazda plans more hybrids and plug-in hybrids and all-electric cars, but it also wants to improve ICE engineering in the slow but sure transition to all electric. It wants ICE vehicles to contribute to drive down the CO2 reduction. Mazda also sees the role of hydrogen and renewable fuels and next generation biofuels. So they will invest money in new ICE technology. Yeah, that is like 50 years too late. Would have been great if you tried to make your ICE cars more efficient like 30 or 50 years ago, but as I just showed in my video this week, nobody wanted to. And now it's just too late. Mazda is clearly not getting the full picture here and really sounds like one of the first to go under. What a shame. I have had a couple of great Mazdas myself. And Sandy Monroe himself is on Twitter now. So if you haven't already, don't forget to go follow this man. And as I have been talking about before, suppliers for legacy automakers' ICE cars will probably go bankrupt before they have time to wind down their ICE engines. And one supplier is already leaving, probably because they are seeing the writing on the wall and don't want to go bankrupt. It is EBM PEPs in Germany that prefer to supply heat pump manufacturers and data centers rather than car manufacturers and refrigerator producers. So that is one supplier leaving the party of the ICE car manufacturers in Germany. But I will bet it will not be the last. And Tesla vehicles now represent 1% of all vehicles on the road in Denmark. In November 2018, the number of Teslas in Denmark was only 4,000, from 0.16% to 1% in just 4 years for such a small company. Well done. Congratulations to the Danish Tesla team. Indeed. And don't forget, if you haven't already got your copy of my new book, The Elon Musk Mission, I will leave a link down below, and the audiobook should become available tomorrow. So enjoy. And before we end up with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my new patrons and members of this new show. My new Patreons: Patrick Fallon, Matthias N., Keith Harmon, Jim and Sydney Ringgold, Malena J., and James Dillon. And my new thank you for watching member, Eric Nass. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. Thank you. And a big and special thanks to Supporter of the Week. And this week's winner is Inko Khan. He has decided to go up and beyond cyber Patreon level and has been supporting me for 27 months. He is a legend. Thank you so much for your support. I will contact you on Patreon. In the meantime, go into the merch store, find the free t-shirt or mug of your choice. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. There is always one who tries to get the free ride. Never seen that before. And that is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. And if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to a donation options in the show notes. And also as simple as hitting the super like button. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only. And I will give my YouTube members and patrons early access to my videos whenever possible and make my videos ads free for members and patrons only. So don't miss out. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.